now, what's going on out there? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I am Chris 183. And Steve, we are back once again with another episode of High School Never Ends. But not just that, we are back with another episode of everybody's favorite June series, You Pick 'em June, where you guys got the chance to dictate what we talk about on this show. Steve, that's super exciting.
We always love the audience to participate. And, sometimes they pick stuff that we know. Sometimes they pick stuff we don't know. Sometimes they pick stuff we like. Sometimes they pick stuff we don't like. And only the next hour or so will tell.
That is true. And this time I would like to just give a heartfelt thank you to all of you guys out there for picking one that I do like, and I really, really thoroughly enjoyed. Guys, we're going to talk today about a band called A Day to Remember. This is a High School Never Ends first. We've never talked about A Day to Remember yet on this show in the 4 years we've been on. And specifically, we're going to talk about the 2009 album Homesick that, once again, you guys voted on. Steve, was the voting close?
I got to tell you, I was very, very surprised at this outcome. And I was disappointed, to be honest, with all y'all's out there. Not because I have anything about A Day to Remember, but we put A Day to Remember up against Hot Mulligan. You, Chris, have been talking Hot Mulligan's praises for quite some time. Hot Mulligan is a pretty hot name in current pop punk music. And I had caught them opening for Newfound Glory and really liked them, but haven't had the chance to dive in. And so we put Hot Mulligan up against A Day to Remember. And I think for a little while, it was pretty close in the voting. But at the end of the vote, it was pretty convincingly A Day to Remember, 62% to 38%, which again surprised me. Are you surprised by that?
No, I mean, look, I think there's just maybe more of an embedded fan base for A Day to Remember. They've been around for longer than Hot Mulligan has, and I know that doesn't always matter, but I think that nostalgia plays a part. Being with a specific album for a while plays a part. We're pop punk dads, right? A lot of our audiences too. They were around in the 2009-ish time frame. This album or other albums that Day to Remember has had out probably hit a nerve at some point in time, and they're connected to it. So to me, I get it, right? Maybe they just have less connections to Hot Mulligan. But I'm a little disappointed too. Again, I'm happy that we're talking about this band because I love this band too. But hopefully we can get back around to Hot Mulligan sometime soon.
We have to cover them. We'll figure out a time. So I think after A Day to Remember won the fan vote, they have 7 albums, and me not really knowing which ones we should offer. The Instagram poll only lets you do 4. I asked you, and I said, which 4 should we throw up there? And you picked the 4. Do you remember the 4?
I do not remember the 4.
All right. Well, this obviously won, Homesick. You also picked For Those Who Have Heart, which was their second album. That was in 2007. Common Courtesy from 2013. And What Separates Me From You from 2010. So those were the 4. And the results were overwhelmingly picking this one. 57% picked Homesick, whereas For Those Who Have Heart and What Separates Me From You each got 16%, and Common Courtesy only 11%. So if we're going to do A Day to Remember, the world out there, the listeners, we're pretty much set that this is the one that we should do.
I was surprised by that. I thought that What Separates would have been a lot closer to this in the voting, because to me, but again, I'm going off a personal opinion. So I like both of those albums. They go hand in hand for me. Common Courtesy, I think, would be a number 3, but that was last in the voting, right? Or no, that was
last out of the 4. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, the people have spoken, I suppose.
The people have spoken. And I got to say, I'm actually having some trouble, Chris. I'm having some trouble moving on from last week. I really got to say that, I gave this album a lot of listens, but I've been walking around with Neck Deep stuck in my head. I can't shake that album. So I'm gonna do my best to move on. This is a totally different band, but just want to say that that first week, that first record that we did that you guys picked, it's got some hold on me.
Yeah, look, like I just said, everybody has their personal preference, and I think that when you put the phrase out there, "Is this your cup of tea?" and I probably would want to ask you that, Steve, because even though I feel like I know the answer, I still want to give you the chance to answer it. I could see where Neck Deep would be that cup of tea for you, more so than this band, which definitely is a lot stronger than a cup of tea, probably a cup of tea with a lot of sugar and a lot of milk.
Maybe some gasoline.
If you want to say that, but let's be fair. This band does a really good job, and I'll get into my thoughts first. Actually, forget me. Let's talk about you, right? Let's talk. This is not this section's about you, Wingman Steve. Tell us what you think about the band, A Day to Remember.
I feel so special. Well, doing a little bit of research, these guys have been around since 2003. Their first album came out in 2005, so that's like 20 years that they've been making music, and I'm not a fan. I have never really sat down and listened to this band. They opened for Blink-182 in 2016, and I tried to catch them, but I think I only caught a few songs or the very end of their set. I was trying to like get in the venue and get my spot. So I don't really have any, preconceived notions about A Day to Remember coming into today. And I've been vocal. I've said it. I don't not like screaming. I do like screaming, but I don't really like the growling, like guar metal, that type of scream. I'm just really not into in my ears. And if you like it, that's cool. It doesn't sink in with me. I was talking to my friend Nicole, who had been on the show, and this is like one of her favorite bands. And she's like, yeah, some people are just, not necessarily into that sound, and I'm not. However, I will say that the first time I listened to the record, I was like, oh shit, like what am I in for here? Like, what did I get myself into? It was kind of hard for me it was a slog to get through it. But the more I listened, the more it grew on me. And I did kind of play, like, I don't want to sit here and every song when we get to it and just keep saying, I don't like the growling. Like, I'm not going to do that. I might mention it, but I'm going to get it out of the way in the beginning, and that's that. When I listened to this album, the last couple of times, what I really tried to do was, first off, I did a little bit of research on the lyrics to find out, like what they're talking about, listen to the music itself. And I kind of tried to ignore the growling parts and be like, if this wasn't growling, would I like it? So I tried to listen to the record in a couple of different mind frames so I could, give some praises, give some, criticisms. That's not just like, I don't like this, I didn't listen to it. Like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to try and really kind of get it maybe as somebody who likes it, and then also get it as me, and just maybe kind of put the stuff I didn't like to the side and kind of listen for the other things.
Okay. I mean, look, that was almost exactly what I thought you were going to say, but I'm a little bit, taken aback by the fact that you said that it grew on you a little bit. So I thought you were just going to be open shut, like, this is not my thing. So
if I had listened to this one time before recording this, that would be my stance, and I'd have nothing to fucking say for the next hour. However, I kept going. I powered through it, and 100%, like, I found myself driving in the car, like, like vibing it, like enjoying it. And so it definitely did grow on me. It's not closed book. I'm done. Fuck this. I really wanted to see why people like this and give it a chance. And a lot of these songs are really good. A lot of them are very good. They're a polished band. The singer, Jeremy, he's got a great voice. He's got a great singing voice. He's got a great regular scream. He's got a growl thing that is scary and just, very good. So I'm coming into it with the best of intentions here.
And they don't do a lot of the screamy stuff. It's mostly growling, right? It's the
Oh,
growling. It's the low growling, less of the wah, like the scream, and more of like that. So
yeah.
which I think is a different skill set, of course. But this band for what basically what Steve said is correct, and I think the only thing I could probably add from my perspective is obviously I have a little bit different of an ear when it comes to this music, and I prefer the harder style. So, but of course, I love the pop punk. And when you say something like that, obviously, when you have a band that's dynamic enough to blend the two together in a way where it sounds amazing, how could Chris 183 not get into a band like that? So, I think that's kind of where we're at with A Day to Remember, and specifically with this album, Homesick, because I think they do an outstanding job, in most, if not all, of the songs. Obviously, I don't want to say all because there are some songs that don't do this, but most of the songs that do intermix the metalcore with the upbeat energy of pop punk, it's an amazing blend, and it's seamless in a lot of ways the way that they're able to do it. So for anybody that really likes a little bit of both genres, I think this one's going to hit home. But I don't want to go too far into my thoughts because I think that'll kind of come out in the song by song.
Fair enough. Little bit of mini research on the band, on the album. So A Day to Remember is from Central Florida. Ocala, I think is how you pronounce it.
I've been there.
I've been through it. It's not in a fun part of Florida. It's in the middle of basically nowhere, where there's just like cows and very bad cell phone service.
Orange farms.
Yeah, there's just farms of all kind and broken down build. I've driven across the state of Florida hundreds of times, and in the middle there's very little, except for that town and these guys. And so I mentioned they formed in 2003. They've got 7 albums. This is the 3rd album that they put out on February 3rd, 2009. It's on Victory Records, so pretty well established, known label. It was produced by Chad Gilbert of Newfound Glory, as well as I'm going to try my best in the last name, Adam Dutkiewicz. I think that's hopefully I can pronounce my Polish last names okay. Dutkiewicz, maybe. He's from Killswitch Engage, the band, and Andrew Wade. The album did pretty well. It got to number 21 on the Billboard charts. It was certified gold, which means it sold over 500,000 albums. It was number 1 on the top independent albums chart. It was number 2 on the hard rock albums chart, and number 5 on the alternative albums chart. So, back at a time when maybe people were still buying CDs, but streaming was starting to do its thing, it did pretty well.
You know what else is cool, Steve, is that I look at their upcoming shows and I see a certain show on June 22nd that they will be at.
That is correct. We are going to see them live.
Yes, we are going to see them. A quick plug for the show. Steve and I will be at the 4 Chord Music Festival in Pittsburgh, PA. This should be an outstanding show, and I cannot wait to see this band play.
Are they? I think they're the headliner for the first. Yeah, they're the number 1. They're the headliner for the Saturday night, and then before them, Story So Far, Census Fail, State Champs, 4 Year Strong. This is a pretty crazy
lineup.
night.
What a lineup! I cannot wait for that first day. That first day is going to be amazing.
That's the Chris day. I think the second day is more the Steve day.
It's the Chris day, yes. So look for us. We will be there,
giving away swag.
We will have swag if you see us. But that's enough about that. Nothing else to say there about our intro. I think it's time to just get into it, Steve.
Yes. We are homesick. They are homesick.
We are homesick. But the first song is not homesick. The first song is The Downfall of Us All. I always start things off. Steve, what do you think about this first track?
Tons of energy to kick this one off. I'm pretty sure that they still open their shows. I wouldn't be surprised in Pittsburgh if they open their show with this. But it starts with this kind of like them singing along the da da. They're like singing what the tune's gonna be da 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 da. And it comes in really really strong. It's got that catchy chorus. It's got like this sick like hard beat that's mixed with the pop punk. There's a clap along chorus part which I always like. To me, reading through the lyrics, it seems like he was writing about kind of pressure when it comes to songwriting and trying to like make people happy, I guess. And to me, like a lot of the verses kind of made sense to that, but the content of the chorus didn't really like match a lot of the rest. Like the chorus kind of seemed to me to be like one of those, get out of my hometown type concepts. I liked it a lot. I thought the chorus was very catchy. I think this is pretty good. Again, there wasn't that much growling on this one, but it's a pretty good blend.
It is a blend. I think that they do a couple good things here. They have that catchy pop punk sound, like you said, the verse, and then they mix that in with the heavier, we call it metalcore breakdowns within the song. I love this song in a lot of ways. It starts off with that harder sound, but it has that pop punk flair to it still. We talked about the breakdowns, the harder guitar riffs to kind of break up the section. Love that, right? I think that's a great just mix up there between, what would be considered to be just traditional pop punk. And then you think about, the music and the melody, the chorus itself, it just hits on every level for me. This song has pretty much everything that I want in a song. And every time I would listen to it, I would like it more. So love the hard sounds. I love the traditional pop punk sound. This song to me just really has it all. So awesome way to kind of start. And I can definitely hear them starting their set with this to get the crowd ready to go. So 100%.
Yeah, it definitely seems like kind of like one of those everybody just immediately like jump up and down and go nuts.
Yeah, so this next song, "My Life for Hire," this one I think is a little bit different, right? I think it's fast paced for sure. I think the riffs are maybe a little bit more intense in this song. You got a little bit more intense drumming too, so on the heavier side, of course. And this one again, actually not again, maybe a little bit more for the first time, alternates between the regular pop punk vocals and then the growls with the screams, however you want to say it.
I think there's only one super hard section.
Yeah, it alternates though a little bit, right? That's what I'm getting to. And I think the important thing is though that this song definitely has a pretty big chorus. Like the chorus here is incredibly big when you compare it to what we've heard so far, which is one song, but that's okay. And again, it's very catchy, very melodic, and I love it, right? So, overall, I think really for me, this song, it's the melody of the chorus and the entire song. It drives hard. It mixes in that metal interlude. And then it goes right back to that driving chorus. I guess maybe not interlude's not the right word. Maybe that's a breakdown. Not sure, but anyway, after that, it kind of brings it right back to that melodic sound. So I don't know, Steve. I think it goes back and forth fairly more frequent than maybe what you're listening to.
I just made notes when they had like full screaming sections. So there might have been, and there was only one of those, a little bit more towards the back half of the song. But yeah, I think this is another cool mix in terms of the sound, the noise, if you will. There, it does go back and forth between that like hard and that kind of pop. Yeah, you're right. There's another catchy chorus to this one. I don't know that I like this one better than the first song. I like that it was, they write a little bit about like what's going on in the music industry. I think that's kind of what this one's about. So I think this is a pretty good track here at number 2. Again, I'm not turning it off or anything like that.
Yeah. And by the way, when I say verses breakdowns, I'm not talking about the lyrical delivery. I'm talking about the music. So I don't know if that corrects the correction, but
no, it makes sense.
All right. What about this next one? Are you made of wax, Steve?
I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of? Do you know
Is
what
that
that's
from a
from?
movie somewhere? I
It
don't
is. Can you guess the movie? Do you know the movie?
know. Beauty and the Beast.
No, but it is quite the children's movie. It's from Night at the Museum.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, interesting that they would name a song after that. But I
Who's
like
made
the
of
title.
wax? Who's made of wax?
Who was it? Was it? I guess was it Teddy Roosevelt? Is he a
Could be.
wax or is he a sculpture? I don't know what he is. I
Okay.
think it was Teddy Roosevelt saying it to Ben Stiller, which I
Oh.
guess was what, Robin Williams?
Ben Stiller was Robin Williams.
No, no, no. Ben Stiller was the security guard, and I think I forget who Robin Williams was. I think he was Teddy Roosevelt. He was somebody
He
on
was
the
just
horse.
a guy. Yeah. Okay.
He was somebody in history because he's in the Museum of Natural
I watched
History.
that movie thousands of times because my kids loved it. All four of them, or however many.
Did you
but I
just get an
haven't-
extra kid somewhere?
No,
I wasn't
all
aware
four. All four of the movies. I thought there was like 3 or 4
Oh.
of them.
I thought you meant you had 4 kids. I was
No.
like, something happened that I didn't know about.
No, but both of the twins loved it, and this was but they went on a dry spell for like 3 years where they haven't watched it, so I forget everything because I watched it. You know, you watch something so many times, and then you don't watch it for a couple of years, and you just forget. So
Indeed. Well, yes, I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of? Is a song by a day to remember, and to me, this one is like constructed a little bit differently. It starts with like the pop punk chorus, and then it goes into total like growl verses, back to the pop punk chorus. The background harmonies in this chorus when it opens up that second time around are really, really good. You know, you can kind of tell this this Chad influence. You know, I think they know how to do choruses, they know how to do layering, they know how to do ahs and stuff in the background. The pace of this song is very head bobby. It's awesome. Like you can bang, and this is one that I'm like I said, there is a lot of growling and screaming in this one, but I'm able to somewhat kind of ignore what I don't like and still enjoy it. And I think I really like this one.
see, that's cool. That's really cool. It makes me happy because this one is definitely heavier in nature, a bit heavier in nature, in comparison to the last couple songs that we've heard. So, but I think to that point though, it really then it goes to show how they're able to still hook a guy like you that there's a threshold, right? There's a threshold between what you're gonna tolerate and what you don't. So I think that's a testament to this band in terms of what kind of music they really can make. But you know, kind of starting from the beginning, you know, this one starts with lyrics and the other two didn't. They started with more of a musical intro, so it started right in with the lyrics, but it quickly goes into some growling, and then you know back to the regular song. The tempo here, I think, the tempo and the sound, the music is top notch to me. It's a very high energy, fast song, which to me is awesome. We talked about the heavy nature of it. I'm just making sure in my notes I didn't miss anything. Just a lot of stuff about energy. I already talked about that. You know what I really like too is how he towards the end, I don't know if you notice this or not, but he clears his throat before he really starts to like just lay it down with some growling. Like it's actually pretty cool. Like he knows this is going to be a really tough part of the song to sing. So he's getting ready to do it and he's like, and then boom, just kind of drops it. Love that, love that, love that. So
Add a little reality to it.
Yeah, really cool song. Really cool song.
All right, well, it's time to go to New Jersey and enjoy a nice cold New Jersey Legion iced tea. Have you had any of those?
Is that a thing?
I don't think so. I think it's kind of just a commentary on like seeing like local shows kind of thing.
So like there's a Turner's iced tea that you can get in Western Pennsylvania.
Is it like one of those hard iced teas?
It is not. No, this is a actual iced tea that you can get.
Okay.
Turner's Dairy. If you know anything about the Pittsburgh area, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been out here or lived out in the vicinity, I think it spans further out than that. You probably could get this in Ohio, but try a Turner's iced tea. It is really good. It probably isn't the best for you, but it's very tasty, and it comes in different flavors too if you like.
High School
But
Never Ends, brought to you by Turner's Iced Tea.
yes, we're gonna have to go to them and see if they will strike a deal. But for New Jersey Legion iced tea, I don't know. But what I do know is that you got to love the formula here again. It's a slightly, and when I say formula, I mean just that blend once again of just that pop punk song mixed with a harder edge, right? I think this one's a little bit mellower, I guess. Like that's what I thought in my head. Like, hey, this one might be a little bit mellower of a delivery. It's not a slow song. It's not a ballad, but just maybe a slightly slower tempo. So a little bit different. But once again, the music is really cool. It's amazing, right? The melody's still there. So even though it does have, that heavy sound to it, and with the dynamics that they've used to date with a couple songs we've already talked about, I think that the melody here once again really stands out. So harsh vocals aside, Steve, did you enjoy New Jersey Legion iced tea?
Well, here's the thing. There's really not a lot of harsh vocals in this one. I think the one that makes this different is this is more of like just a kind of harder pop punk song. There's a great opening riff, and there are some screams mixed into the what I'll call regular vocals. So a little bit like that Finch Story of the Year, where they kind of highlight some words or phrases with the scream in the background. It's got a great chorus. There's this part where, the music kind of gets muted and then stops and picks back up. There's an awesome bridge, and the bridge actually, they could have made a choice to do the scream/growl in the bridge and make this one of those hybrid songs, but he decided to sing it. And I think that having this one song without the growling for somebody like me is like, okay, like that's my jam. Like this one, I think it was a good choice. I think here at number 4, this is a great song, and this is one that, like I said, I'm enjoying the stuff, even though I don't like some of the growling. But I mean, this is a song that could be added to like my playlist and could fit right in. Without
I guess I didn't know what your threshold was when I say that it has the harsh the harsh vocals. I could see it going either way for you. So, I mean, maybe individuals out there, for you guys out there that have that different threshold, you'll see it differently depending on what what the song is. But for me, it's great. Like I have no problem with it, and I think it's a good balance. But for others, it might not be that way.
Yeah, so. I wonder if they did like all their stuff. So, I mean, I think one of the things they pride themselves on, and they talk about this in some of their songs, is that they don't just they don't do what the record industry, like people have told them. There's a song later on where it's like, why don't you just do one or the other? Do the hardcore, the metalcore, or do the punk? And they're like, no, we are going to meld these two together. We're going to change it. Kind of like, somebody saying to Linkin Park, like, pick, are you going to rap or are you going to do like hard rock? And they're like, no, we're going to do our own thing. And I think it works really, really well. But for someone like me, if they made all their albums like this, that wouldn't be who they are, but that would probably be something that I maybe would have gotten into back in the day.
All right, Mr. Highway.
Mr. Highway.
You thinking about the end? Mr. Highway's thinking about the end.
Mr. Highway's thinking about the end. This is another movie reference.
Okay, so get to the movie reference in a second, but to me, Mr. Highway sounds like a cartoon character on like a Dora the Explorer, like Mr. Highway. Which way should I go?
It's quite the opposite of that.
Which movie are you referencing?
Well, I didn't write the song, but they are referencing a movie with Macaulay Culkin back in the day called The Good Son.
Oh yeah.
Where is it? Are there two of them, or is it just one of him?
I never saw it, but I know the movie.
I definitely saw it a long time ago. I know that there's at least one Macaulay Culkin who's like a super evil kid, and apparently he has this dummy that he calls Mr. Highway, and he throws him off a bridge, probably to cause havoc on the cars below. So that's what Mr. Highway's thinking about the end is.
Is that the one with the bees and the twin sister?
No.
Like,
No, that's My Girl.
oh, I thought that was this one.
No, in Home Alone, My Girl was like the super sweet one with the bees, yes. And then this was like him being like an evil child. So this was quite the different movie for him.
Do you think that he's an evil child in this movie because of the experiences that he faced in Home Alone?
No. No, maybe if you combine Home Alone and My Girl, maybe that makes an evil child.
Because wasn't his uncle like really mean to him in that movie? Like it was pretty bad.
His uncle was a prick, but he didn't seem to let it get him down too much.
They ate all the pizza in front of him and then blamed everything on him after that. So the kid didn't get to eat. He got blamed for everything, and he got put in the attic of a house to sleep.
Yeah, and his cousin was also a dick to him. Basically, everybody was a dick to him, but he was still a nice kid.
I guess. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess he saved the day. But okay, Home Alone aside, this song, okay, what do I have to say? A lot. I think you have to be I think this song really puts you to the test, Wingman Steve, because I think you have to be a fan of the growling to enjoy the song. That's my opinion. Now, let me ask you that same question, though. Let me stop with my analysis and say, do you feel it deep down inside of you, do you have to be a fan of growling to really enjoy this song?
Yeah, probably. You have to be a fan of that genre, and you have to be cool with the growling to really enjoy it. Yeah.
So I did, and so I am a fan of the growling, and I think that, beyond that, looking even just beyond that piece, because we've talked a lot about the growling, structurally, musically, listening to the song, I think that's what impressed me the most, right? Because it's just so solid the way they kind of put things together. Listen to the guitar, listen to the drums. They do some really creative things in this song. It sounds awesome. There's some great up-tempo stuff that is mixed in. Look, I mean, it's not for everybody, right? But anyone that really does enjoy this style, I think this is a head bobber, and this will get you energized. So I'm here all day for this one. I think, again, it has just that heavy, aggressive sounds with those really intense breakdowns that if you like that kind of music, this is your jam. And I think that's why I ended up really liking this one. Steve, what about you?
Yeah, it's a super hard one. I mean, it sounds like a machine gun. It starts in with that wake, like that crazy growl, whatever it is. It does have, it's kind of like I'm trying to think of what the chorus is like. It's not really like screamy. It's just kind of like higher pitched, like with a lot of emotion. So really, the chorus is kind of the only thing that I'm able to like get into. So even though it's not really like my style, like I can still vibe with it somewhat. I kind of just like meditate out all those verses with the screaming and kind of just enjoy the music and the chorus. I will say at the very end is they do the chorus very, very softly, and they kind of they do like very Hawthorne Heightsy. Like they sound exactly like Hawthorne Heights at the end of this track. And they could have cut 10 seconds off the end of it, though. There's like an extra 10 seconds that's not necessary.
Did you see that post by Hawthorne Heights about their 1-star album?
No, I didn't. What was it?
It's a post. It's a social media post where they flash all these reviews that people have out there. I don't know if they're just fan sites or whatever, but
do you know what album it is?
It's the newest one, I think.
Okay.
And people giving them like 1-star reviews. And at the end of it, it's like, come see us in a town near you to play our 1-star album. It's actually pretty funny. But I just missed this morning.
I just missed them. They were doing a like a acoustic kind of storytelling thing in Philly. I couldn't get to it. And then they're doing all these huge, like the Is for Lovers festivals are huge and have really good bills, but none of them are really around us.
They're not going to be at Fort Court either.
Nope. I've seen them fairly recently, though. I saw them with Spitalfield like in 2023, maybe. Yeah, I went down to Baltimore to see them. They put on a good show.
I've
They
never
sound
seen
good.
Never seen them.
They don't really move around the stage all that much. Like the stage presence is a little lacking, but the storytelling is good and the music is good.
What do you think about bands just stand there?
They can do whatever they want, but it's again, I would have the comment that I just had is that they really just didn't have much stage presence. Like this type of music, typically you want to see a lot of energy.
When you get up on stage and you do karaoke with those guys, do you just stand there?
No. I usually you'll see. You're coming to the emo band?
I mean, we'll see.
Yes. Yeah. I usually jump around and have a good time with it.
I would stand there. I would stand there just staring at the person in the front row.
Well, you got to, you've been talking about your singing talents for a long time. And the fact that I live so far away from you has been, you haven't had the chance to show it off. But we are going to be in the same city and the emo band is going to be playing. So I have a ticket. So you should
get
one.
A ticket to this? You can't just walk in?
No, dude. So 408 is playing, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, and then emo band is like closing the night out with karaoke.
Interesting.
It's like $40.
Okay, what if you went up there and did a Red Jumpsuit Apparatus song? Would they come out and sing with you?
I don't know. Maybe
that's a good idea.
I mean, I think there's only one Red Jumpsuit Apparatus song that could potentially be on their set list. But
you know what else is really cool is that
I love that song.
I wonder if some of the other bands that are going to be playing the festival are actually going to be there too. So if you sing another band song that's going to be there, could they get up on stage with you?
Well, I think Something Corporate is playing somewhere else that night. So unfortunately, I don't think Andrew McMahon will be there. But I would duet with him, Punk Rock Princess. That would be fun.
All right. Well, look, we've already talked about that song, but we have not talked about the next one. Is this me or you, Steve? Because I'm chomping at the bit here.
Have faith in me. No, that's me. You've been starting all of them.
All right, go ahead.
So this one kind of like it starts like a starting line song, to be honest. It seems like the guitar and the drums, then the bass comes in. This song is really, really easy to like. There's a great chorus with awesome harmonies. Again, I like when the screams are mixed in / kind of like highlights in parts of the song. And this is another one where there's really not a huge growl section at all. There's some screaming, but there's not that huge growl section. So this is another one that is on my plus list. Has some stars next to it and checks and things of that nature.
And definitely some stars. The check mark system is gone. That was maybe 2022.
I forgot what the system was. I was making some sort of reference to it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, this song, guys, is just so good. This song is so good. I don't know. I think that's the best place to start. I don't know how to put that into words, but how about that bass guitar for all of you bass players out there, listen to that bass guitar. I don't know if you feel it's good or bad, but to me, the listener that does not play bass guitar, I love the way that's kind of mixed in at the beginning as a feature, but the way that they go from whisper to loud to that big chorus is amazing. And that riff and the start and stop, that guitar riff throughout this song, damn, like it's so good. It's so good. So just easy to listen to. It just gets me in all the feels, right? So a lot of awesome stuff so far. I'm sorry, I forget the lead singer's name, but the way he delivers,
it's Jeremy McKinnon.
Jeremy, that's what I couldn't think of it. If it's Jeremy, the way he delivers that "Have faith in me" line, it's kind of like a whisper. It's kind of different. It's I don't know how to put it. I wish I could sing it again here, but wow. That's just so cool. The way that that's delivered in the middle of the song, man, it's just such a dynamic song itself. The melody pulls you in. It still has that tinge of hardcore, that's behind everything that keeps you kind of in that mood still. But like you said, it blends it enough into the background that this is a little bit different of a song, as a whole. So I think this song really just is the total package for the average pop punk listener that wants to potentially get into this band. Like, this song can really hook you for a lot of all the reasons I just said. So definitely, if you haven't checked out A Day to Remember yet and you're hesitant because of that, maybe the barrier of you not really liking growling, check this song out. I guarantee you that, it's going to make you think twice.
Yeah, this is a good way to wade into A Day to Remember for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, Welcome to the Family is a Drive Through Records compilation. It's also the next song, Chris.
Yes, it is. And I don't know if I have a ton to say about this song. This one again it has the dynamic, double-edged sword on this one again, hard and soft both. It's really heavy, and it also has kind of a lighter melody, like a lighter pop punk both. Like, that's the interesting thing about this one. Like, I think it goes in two completely different extremes. So that's really the only thing that I could pick out about this. Again, I really enjoyed it. I thought the melody was cool. This isn't one that I would definitely, say that would be lower on the totem pole for me, but I just didn't feel like there was much to pick out of it that I could really say anything about, other than the fact that I just thought it was a little bit more of the extremes, polarizing extremes in terms of the hard versus the more melodic.
Yeah, I think this is low on the totem pole for me. The thing is, I didn't find the chorus too catchy here, and considering the amount of growling, it's not a favorite. Like, usually when the song starts out with it, like, all the only thing that is not the crazy growl is the chorus, which is, repeated 3 or 4 times. So it's not one that I'm going to get into or listen to. As a positive, I will say that in the chorus, I like that they mix some keyboards in. I think that was pretty cool and it fit well. There's also extra time at the end of this track, 10 or 15 seconds that could have been cut off. I think there was a point, I think this was the track where I'm like, did my Spotify like pause or something? Like, there was dead air at the end of it. So let's clean that up, boys. I think, overall, not one of the ones that I would write home about.
It was a stylistic choice, Steve.
Yeah, I guess so.
They don't care what you think.
Obviously not. They're very successful. They don't need me.
They are not homesick.
Well, they are. I mean, this is a song about, the struggles of touring, and this song is a pit song right from go from the beginning. And to me, I mean, this song is like a roller coaster. I mean, there are changes of tempo all over the place. It's skate punk, it's pop punk, it's straight up like rock, like pop rock, like the "Hey Mom, I wrote you some soft songs." Like, that's like pop rock right there, and like hard rock, all mixed together in the same song. I think it's pretty cool. I think I feel the New Found Glory influence here a lot. I think it's pretty cool the way they did it.
That line, the "Hey Mom, I wrote you some soft songs." That's funny, isn't it? Because you could kind of feel that potentially one of their mothers was like, "Why don't you guys, like, you just want to scream all day? Why don't you write some nice music that I could listen to?" Like,
Yeah.
And I bet you that's where that came from. I could hear it in my head. I mean, if it's not the case, then fine, whatever. I'm sorry, but I could just see myself in a band and having my own mother say that to me about, the music that I make. I remember because, my brother's in a band, and my grandmother used to say that to him. And, it's like, "Oh, it's nice and all, and I support you, but how about some more music like this?" And it was completely like just not that. And
Yeah, your brother's band is not grandma friendly.
It's not, but she would go to every show, which good for her, right? But ultimately, I could see that being the case. But look, I think this is a very straightforward analysis for me. Like, this song is straightforward in a lot of ways. I think I just my note is it seems like a very well done 2009 pop punk song. Like it has its quirks and it has a little bit of a just different sound depending on what section you're in, but overall I just think that's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's easy to listen to.
Absolutely. One of the
Mhm.
easier ones.
How
And
about
then we
this
get into
anthem? How about
then we
this
get into
next?
holding it down for the underground.
Well, how about this holding it down for the underground? It's got to be like an anthemic song, right? Like a song that everybody kind of just rallies and gets into. You can see that.
I read that it was about like two close family members of his that passed away and he couldn't like make the funeral.
Maybe that's what it's about, but I'm talking about when you think about holding it down for the underground, maybe couldn't that be about the fans?
It could be just by the title, yeah.
It's kind of how I see it. I mean, the themes here, what do you think the theme's about? Like staying true to yourself or, being authentic, that sort of thing?
I think it's more about like the kind of sadness of the fan, like not being able to attend these events, and like his passion is preventing him sometimes from being with the family. Like, so here's the thing: there are very sentimental lyrics here, but the thing is, they're totally lost because they're growled. So, like, these are the first two verses. Been through a lot in the last year. It's like everything I love is slipping away, and every time I come home, some more of me, it isn't there. I gotta get it together. I need to do things for myself. I've given everything, but you still take more from me. I need some room to breathe. But you can't, like, I understand that you get into the growling, but like, can you ever understand what he's saying? And doesn't it lose some of its umph when it's presented that way?
Yeah, I mean, but does everybody have to listen to a song to figure out the deeper meaning behind what they're trying to say? Or can't you just enjoy the music and the tonality of that style?
You can, but I mean, he's writing it to say something. I mean, there's words. It's not just nonsense sounds.
Sure, but I think that's what you look up the lyrics for to kind of understand. And then once you know what he's saying, your brain probably fills in the blanks.
Okay. This is not one that I really dug all that much. Again, it's real heavy on the growling. I did like the one lyric. He says, "I have the greatest faith in fools. I turned my back, and out came the wolves." I don't know why, but I thought that was a good line. That's all I got.
I thought it was balanced. I mean, personally, I thought the verse was the growling, and that was really it, and the chorus is not. So I mean, you have your verse that's growling, the chorus isn't. The chorus is definitely a little bit, very melodic, and I don't know. I thought it was a good balance. So that's just my opinion.
All right. You already know what you are, bro.
Do I?
I think you do.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the song? I think it's your turn.
Yeah. So to me, I like the sentiment, and I think I like the meaning behind it. Again, I did some research on what these guys are talking about, and it's basically a song about people who told them like they shouldn't do what they're doing, right? They should pick a genre and not mix them, and they're basically like, "Fuck you." The song is kind of about it's just about that, mixing the genres. It starts off they used to tell me you got to choose a side. Now it's 4 years later, and they beg for advice. Don't trust the critic. He's a cynic. Make the call for yourself. This is my 10-step course to not be like everyone else. So I think I like what they're saying, but I'm not a super fan of the song. It's a little bit on the hard side for me. So, but it's so quick. It's a minute 27. It doesn't like bother me or anything. It's just probably not going to be one that I go back and listen to a lot.
I definitely go back and listen to this song. I think it's great. I love the cool guitar effects. I think it's like kind of like a phone ringing kind of trailing off effect at one point in time. And I really enjoy the low growling with a high response. It's more of like a high screamy response. It happens this one time, but I thought it was definitely worth kind of pointing out. I don't know, like this is super entertaining to me, and I think that maybe a piece of it is because it is so short and it's just a quick burst of what this is. I'm cool with that, but you definitely hit it spot on with the meaning behind the song, and it's really cool to hear that though, because you think back, and I don't know who's telling this band that, because if they started in 2003 and the stylistically they chose to be a kind of a melting pot of a couple different styles. I'd love to know who told them not to do that, because I feel like there were other bands that did that at the time, or were maybe starting to get into that. Maybe it was just in its infancy, and maybe it wasn't as prevalent when they started.
I'm trying to think, your story of the years and your fit. Like, I think Finch was one of the ones that really, I think, mixed up that that heavier screaming with the punk sound. Story of the year, I think, was 2004 that their album came out. These guys' first album came out in 2005, but they got together in 2003. So who knows when that was said to them, by what record label. But yeah, I'm sure that some manager or A&R guy gave them some shit and just give them some fuel for content, for lyrics.
There were other bands, like there was other band, but there were other bands like this that were probably even a little bit more metalcore than this band was, but had the melodic interludes, like a band like Atreyu. It's just one that pops off my head, and you may not know them, but they were in that 2004. The Curse come out in 2004, which had X's and O's on it and some other songs that I really enjoyed, but it's the same stylistically. And look, I mean, it could have been a major label that was trying to get them to be a little bit more mainstream that said that and says, look, people aren't going to listen to you if you do this both ways, which I could buy that. I mean, I see that, but I'm kind of glad they didn't, right? Because honestly, again, it started a semi-new genre, which to me is really just awesome. I mean, when you mix things that you really love together and they sound good, how can that be a bad thing? So amazing how short-sighted things could be. Now, the fact that a lot of bands these days are mixing a lot with country music, I still don't stand behind that. I'm sorry. I don't understand it. I would be that guy to say, don't do that anymore, please.
I probably would too. It's not my cup of tea.
But everybody loves it. A lot of people do, and I don't get it.
I don't know. My daughter only listens to Taylor Swift, so
your daughter's a little bit too young for that. Yeah. I would say, like, my daughter, who's a little bit older, is into that, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Talk to me about it, somebody out there, please. I want to know. I want to know why you already know what you are.
Didn't we just talk about that song?
I think but I wanted to kind of fit that in there.
I think you're on repeat. Someone take him off repeat.
I didn't.
Sorry, guys. I hit the repeat button on Chris.
That wasn't a segue to the next song.
I thought that's what was coming.
No, that was just a way for me to kind of put a bow on what we were just talking about.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were on repeat.
No. Why would you think the worst? Think the best. Think about The Weeknd. Think about another song about The Weeknd.
We are the kings of The Weeknd.
I love The Weeknd. You do too. And I could see myself taking this song. The next song is called Another Song About The Weeknd. This one's really melodic and very, very emotional too. I could see myself listening to this song every Friday in 2009 and really getting kind of just hyped up about life.
By the way, did you listen to this album in 2009? When did you get this listen to this album?
It was several years later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forgot to ask you that.
Yep. I don't know what I was doing in 2009. I was doing something, but it wasn't.
I met you in 2009.
Yeah. Yeah, did you?
Mm-hmm.
2009.
Actually, no, it was late 2009, maybe 2010.
I thought it was 10.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I took the job that we had together in late 2009, so it was probably early 2010 that we crossed paths.
Yeah. You know what's funny is you never talked about this music when we met.
Well, we were always together in like a work environment.
That's true. Isn't that weird? How things kind of work out that way. But I wish we would have brought it up at least once, but we didn't. But back to
Here we are. Here we are talking about it all the fucking time.
back to the subject matter. Another song about the weekend. Steve, this is a really cool one, right? Because this one, I think, just fits right into the title of the song. Just a high energy song. Again, a good balance of the scream vocals, clean vocals. To me, this is a top down, windows down song in the summertime that I could listen to. No matter whether it's the weekend or if I have a couple days off or just sometime, just a point where there's no care in the world, this song will give you the energy that you really need when you're in those scenarios. So I think this is a great one. Let me see if I have anything else here that I wrote down. Oh, how could I forget? This one, I think, is a Wingman Steve special because, yes, I'm stealing your thunder, but it has your gang lyrics all over it. So I'll be curious to see if you were going to say something about that. But it also has a pick scrape. And I know what a pick scrape is. So I want to make sure that is brought up. I feel like this has a little bit of bubblegum pop punk in it, right? Ish. So again, a Steve special. But overall, this has a great melody to it. And I think, again, that kind of ties back to my original point of why I think this song is so just uplifting, especially in, a scenario where you're going to have a good time or it's, the weekend.
Yeah, I'll keep it short on my end. This is a pretty straightforward pop punk jam. There's great drumming in this. There's a great chorus. The pace to it is fun. It is a really enjoyable song, and I get the impression that these guys like their hometown of Ocala, whatever it is, Florida, in the middle of nowhere. But they are, they're kind of doing an ode to the Florida sun, begging them to come back home. It does have that summer vibe to it, that weekend vibe to it. You could jam it while you're driving. I think this is a pretty good track here at number 11.
Did you see this next song coming, Steve? I didn't.
No, and to me, this is actually their most streamed song on the record. And funny enough, this was actually, do you know when this was released as the fourth single?
When it was released?
Right.
Are you going to say it's like many, many years later?
It was re-released as a single over 5 years later. It was released as a single because it was a fan favorite in September of 2014.
Wow.
And skyrocketed up to be their number one streamed song on this album because people just loved it so much. And to me, this is pretty much a perfect last track on the album. I love those acoustic final tracks that have the gang vocals. There's your gang vocals comment. And just this sing along ability, the la 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 la's. It really reminds me of a SoCo Amaretto Lime type jam. I like the choice to put the only slow song on the entire record at the end. It makes it stand out and be something different to end the record with. And I think that it shows you Jeremy's versatility in terms of the vocals. He can scream, he can growl, he can sing, and he can do it, acoustic / acapella. And the female voice, her name is Sierra K or Sierra Custerbeck. She goes by both. She was in a band called Versa Emerge. I love an acoustic song that features a male and a female singer. And this one just gives you this everybody is in the crowd and their hands are swaying back and forth in the air. This one has a vibe to it, and I think it's real strong as the album closer.
And gang vocals.
I said that, yeah.
I know. I'm just saying it again. A lot of gang vocals on this one.
Gang vocals rock.
They should have just called this one Gang Vocals.
That's just the name of it?
Is there a name of a song called that?
I don't know. There should be.
There should be. Yeah, this one took me by surprise. Yes, I know you love that last acoustic track.
When it's done right.
When it's done right. I want to know when it's done wrong, though. You tell me. Do you remember any specifics?
Specifically an acoustic one? I remember I didn't like the last song on the Finch record, which you really liked. Was that Ender or was that in the middle?
I think Ender was at the end.
Yeah, it was really long,
Ender was at the end.
but it wasn't
Yeah.
acoustic. I think if you decide, if you're a band that's not just an acoustic band and you put an acoustic track at the end, as long as it's a good track, I think I will like it.
What do you guys think out there? Let us know. We want to know what you think about the last track. If an acoustic track is the best way to kind of wrap things up, if done right. And I agree with you, though. This one, and I say that because it's the last track. It's kind of hidden. Kind of. I mean, a lot of times, bands get a little experimental with that last track. I don't want to say it's a hidden track because, again, I think the last track kind of feeds into the first track a lot of times. But I guess it depends on who you talk to when they listen to an album, because sometimes if your favorite songs are in the first bunch, you can have the tendency to skip right to whatever, right? So I don't think you skip this song though. I think this is a song you kind of skip to if that's your thing. I don't skip any songs on this album, but I could see somebody really going in that direction because it's just well done, right? It's different. It's not necessarily the same experience that you're getting from any other song on this album. But once again, I think it shows the fact that this is a very talented band that can be very dynamic in the way that they write music and perform. And the fact that they're able to go from, very heavy metalcore growling to this and do it well and pull it off great with a song that really kind of just stands out as a ballad. That's, to me, that's a feather in the cap. That just shows this is a band that, gets the accolades for a reason, right? That they get the critical acclaim, especially on this album, for a good reason. And that's because they make good music. They know how to make good songs, good melodies, and they were innovative too. And they were able to mix, a lot of great sounds in this album and come out with something that I think gave a little bit of good stuff to a lot of different people. So I was a fan of this one. I kind of went away from the song specifically to kind of get up on a soapbox, but ultimately I was a fan of this one. I thought it was Hayley Williams for a second, but it's not. It's not.
It is not. That would have been cool. Did you do the Spotify game? Do you know what songs are the biggest streaming ones?
I didn't do that for this one, so no, I don't.
Do you want to guess? I have it in front of me. Do you want to give me?
Did you already say
this
was the number one song?
This is the number one. Give me the top four.
Off this album or just in general?
Let's go with this album.
Yeah, let's go with this album. I'm going to say Have Faith in Me is definitely got to be up there.
That would be the fourth. Number four.
Interesting.
So number one and number four. What's in the middle?
No, Homesick. The downfall of us all. The first track.
Yep, that's number two.
So you want me to tell you?
I hear a lot of papers rustling.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm looking at my stuff. Oh, maybe Homesick.
No, Homesick is one of the in the lower tier.
And I'll go with one more I'll give one more guess. Obviously, I missed one, but another song about the weekend would be my other guess.
Nope, that is also low, even lower than Homesick.
All right.
And all right, let's also go with you like to do this. If It Means a Lot to You, the number one stream song, how many streams do you think it has? Spotify.
Oh, I mean, this is a pretty big band.
How big?
I'm gonna say like 250 million.
That is damn close. It's 249 million and change for If It Means a Lot to You. And to put it into perspective, If It Means a Lot to You is 249 million and change. The Downfall of Us All has 205 million and change. Then we see pretty much a 50% drop off. 110 million streams. I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of? 109 million streams. Have Faith in Me. Then we get down to this one that's kind of in the middle. Mr. Highway's Thinking About the End, 73 million. And then everything else is between like 18 and 30 million.
Mr. Highway, huh?
Yeah, that one's interesting, but not
You
that
did
one. I
not
guess would
like
be
that
number
one.
5.
You did not like that one. Yeah, look, I mean, I could see I'm made of wax. I was very high on that one, but Mr. Highway surprises me. But look, I mean, hey, there's a ton of fans that like that harder sound, and potentially that's why. But okay. Well, I did not do very good on this game, which is my own game.
You do better when it's your game.
When it's my game, that's why I keep it to be my game, not your game. But that's okay. It's good to turn the tables once in a while. I think on a previous episode I was 4 for 4 for something that it was the band set, right?
You did really well. Which one was it?
You had asked me something about what songs a band had played off of an
Oh
album.
yeah, and you got them all right. That's correct.
Was that Neck Deep? That was
I
the
think
last
it
one
was.
did.
Yeah, it was last week. I asked you
Okay.
from this album, which songs do they play live? And you got them all right.
Very good. Well, I was 3 for 4 here, or 2 for 4.
I forget. You were
We'll go
good. You
3.
did better than average.
Steve, we did it. This was the album. We got through the entire thing, but as per usual, before we wrap things up for the day, we got to rank it, right? We got to rank them. We got to do ranking it. It is the segment of the show, everybody's favorite segment, where we rank our top 3 favorite songs on the album. So, Wingman Steve, let's have it. What are your favorite 3 songs in order? Off of the album, Homesick.
Thank you. Well, I would say that mine are going to be the ones that don't really feature the heavy growl. I've already spoken about, how that plays to my ears. Number 3, and again, like last week, I think 3, 2, and 1 are really close to each other. I'm not sure exactly why I chose the exact order, but number 3 is "Have Faith in Me." I thought that one was awesome. Number 2, I'm going with the final track, "If It Means a Lot to You," the acoustic track. And my favorite song, I think I'll definitely stick by this. My favorite song is "New Jersey Legion Iced Tea." It has nothing to do with the fact that I live near New Jersey or that I go to concerts in New Jersey. I just thought that one was super fun. And those 3, I think I could put on some playlists, along with maybe 1 or 2 others. Again, I like the ones that don't feature the super growl, and those are the ones that stuck out.
Okay. So this album for me is going on a playlist of its own because I'm going to listen to this album from front to back. I may even buy the vinyl just so I can listen to it. But that said, number 3 for me is "I'm Made of Wax." Larry, "What Are You Made Of?" Love that. Love that song. Number 2, this is tough. This was tough. "Have Faith in Me" was number 2. And this one, God, like I wanted it to be number 1, but that first track just edged it out. Steve, that was the one, the downfall of us all. That was the one that really just it grabbed me from the beginning and it never let go. So to me, like, that's number 1. And look, I mean, I could tell you that I had stars by other songs too that for a while I was going to put in my, like, another song about the weekend. I told you that I loved "Holding It Down" for the Underground. You didn't like that one, but I thought that was good. I obviously was very high on "If It Means a Lot to You," but to me, like, those are the 3 songs that really stand out, and I'm going to stick by it.
Fair enough. And you know what? I don't know if everybody out there remembers, but we have a playlist on Spotify. It's called the High School Never Ends Ultimate Pop Punk Playlist. And we put a whole bunch of our favorites from Ranking It and other episodes on there. In our Linktree thingamajigger, you can find a link to it, or just send us a message on Instagram and we'll send it to you. But those Ranking It's from this episode have now been added, so there'll be some Day to Remember stuff on there.
Yeah, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode "Homesick" by the band Day to Remember. Obviously, we're still in You Pick 'em June. We have more You Pick 'em June left, Steve, but I'm not going to ruin the surprise for what's next. unless you want to, which I do not think you do.
No, I'm not going to ruin it. Everybody, you voted on it, so if you paid attention on Instagram, you'll know. But I'm not telling you right now.
I do like this because, again, we can end up with with albums that we actually really, really have been anticipating talking about. And actually, honestly, I'm looking forward to talking about any and all of these bands that were in the running. So I think it's a win-win for all of us here. But really enjoyed this album. Hopefully you guys do too. And hey, if you haven't heard this one yet, go check it out. Maybe listen to it before you listen to the show. And that way you can kind of think about our opinions with your own. And once you do that, the best thing that you could do is reach out to us via the socials. That's where you can kind of give us your opinion on what you thought about what we said and what you thought about the album. The best place to do that, obviously, is our Discord channel. And you can also hit us up on Facebook, Instagram. We're there too. All the links to all of our socials are easily found at our hub. That hub is www.hsnepod.com. That's where you'll find all the links to all the socials where you can interact with us and let us know what you thought about You Pick 'em June, A Day to Remember, Homesick.
That is right. And while you're at hsnepod.com, check out our shop. We have a lot of good merch. We're going to be giving stuff away for free. So if you're in Pittsburgh at 4 Chord, come and find us. We will be very identifiable, but pick up a hat, pick up a t-shirt, pick up a mug. Everything that you purchase there goes to support the Dragon Wagon Independent Podcast Network. We put all this shit on for you for free. We're not asking for your money in Patreon or anything like that. Just go buy a mug or a shirt or something and, tout your podcast pride and help the show and help our network. And another way you can help without spending any money is by giving us a 5-star review. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, write something nice. Spotify, same thing. Write what you liked about the episode. Give us the 5 stars. It makes me and Chris feel good when we roll up the covers and we are ready to go to sleep at night. That's it for today. We are done being homesick, and we will have another You Pick 'em June next Thursday. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
Internet! I'm Coy Jandro, a Bostonian who loves pop culture, comic books, and people. And I host Coycast. It's a podcast about all those things. If it fits in on a con floor, we talk about it on Coycast. Myself and producer Jake do previews, reviews, deep dives, and tinfoil hat theories about everything from movies, TV, and the comic books themselves. I also like to dish out comic recommendations from my 100-plus pull list a week so you know what's best to buy. So join us, True Believer, on Coycast.com or wherever you're listening to this podcast right now.
Dragon Wagon.